Like everyone, I judge people I meet. Most of this evaluation is of course subconscious, but at least part of it is conscious. And the beliefs people hold form part of the conscious impression they make on me. This is as it should be. Far from being prejudice, belief as a means of assessing people makes good sense. It is fairer than using inescapable physical features such as skin colour, for example. Some may say that I should assess people on more universal qualities than their religion. Perhaps that Muslim would be a wonderful friend because he is forgiving, loyal, generous, hospitable. Yes, perhaps he would. But beliefs about God and science and the nature of truth do matter. They are part of what defines a person. We know this because Muslims themselves insist on it. I have the impression that Islam is undergoing a crisis of identity, and in a world that is becoming more homogeneous, Muslims feel compelled to assert their religious distinctiveness more and more. But I wonder why being Muslim should matter more than being human. If you do decide it is important to cherish and to advertise what makes you distinctively Muslim, that is of course your right. But you cannot on the one hand say that your religion is the most essential part of who you are, and on the other say that it should not matter to those around you who do not share your faith. Which is your religion to be, important or unimportant? If you decide it is important, you must take the social consequences of that decision. People may dislike the beliefs that you value. If you decide your religion is unimportant, welcome to the swelling group of fulfilled people who happily identify themselves not as Muslim or Christian, but simply as Homo sapiens. The drive for identity has made Islam tragically insular. If anything, the conviction among Muslims that the Quran contains all truth has increased in modern times. In some respects, Islam has a noble history of progress, liberalism, and openness. The Muslim world once produced influential thinkers. I have often read that Muslims were usually more tolerant of Christians than the other way round, and I lack the knowledge to refute this. However, in all these respects, the Islamic world has made no real headway in recent centuries. In fact, especially in the last generation or two, I'm convinced that it has gone backwards. Muslims who call themselves moderate naturally dissociate themselves from narrow or violent interpretations of the Quran. Yet in the 21st century, moderation requires more. Moderation does not consist in interpreting the Quran in a liberal and flexible way. It consists in questioning its very divinity and ultimately being able to ignore it. It consists in at least doubting whether Allah even exists, rather than just wondering what he means. If you are a Muslim and you wish to protest that you are not a peaceful extremist in the way that I have outlined it in these talks, ask yourself a simple question. Is the Quran the word of Allah? If your answer is an unequivocal yes, you distance yourself from many non-Muslims who agree with me, most of whom are too polite to say what I have said in these talks.